how did that come about? The last one you did. Well, obviously, there was many years between
Mm.
the matches that didn't happen, and then when you wrestled, was it 2013, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I just remember there being a buzz about doing another Betterfest. Just quite a few people were talking to me about it. And I thought, look, it's supply and demand. If the interest is there, let's do it.
Yeah.
As I said, I spoke to Bert about it. He just wasn't up for doing it. He said, I'll come along, whatever, but I don't want to help do it because I know it's fucking hard work and I don't know if people are going to stick to it. So, yeah, it's fine. And I think it just all come about from there, really. It was a case of, need a main event. I'd like to see Dreamer again. We're all good now. Hopefully he's going to be a bit more reliable. I mean, good Lord, there was some nerves before it. Honest to God. If the saying is fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, I can't even imagine what fool me 3 times is. I mean, Jesus Christ, I need a fucking slap. But, I remember being very, very nervy. And I remember having to get word from people like Dave. I was like, Dave, fucking get him here. Get him here. And I remember I had to be in contact with him to get updates and make sure that they go and grab him and that he's in and that he's in the car and that he's on his way. And, I was really nervous. I thought I was going to be embarrassed again,
Well, I mean, he put together the XPB event. So, and then I think it was just like a Facebook challenge or something. I don't really remember too much about it. I remember just being, because I remember him putting something up and I was like, yeah, I'd come along or whatever. And he was like, I think he even posted it on there, I'm up for it if you are. And I was like, fucking yeah, of course, And I remember ads being like, mate, I just got wet or something, which was pretty cool. It really kind of, it's hard to talk about because the difficult thing about it as well is that it was never going to be as good as what people kind of thought, and that was what my thing with Selby was. And he was like, fuck that, man. Who cares? And I think that's what I have to look at a lot of my stuff now is that I think for so many years doing it, I kind of, you worry and you care. And at the time, I was just worried about what everyone else would think, I think I was just so worried about how's that going to come across or how's that going to make me look or, is that as good as Selby or is that as good as Pac or is that as good as Farrell or all I wanted to do was be the best. All I wanted to do was throw the best punch or bump the best and all that kind of stuff. And I think looking back now in those last 4 or 5 matches, I didn't really have that pressure on me. And I can look back at those now and just go, I was as for a kid, for a teenager or whatever, I was putting so much pressure but it was good. I think, in the reverse, like to just transverse that as well, because I think that made things better by wanting that, having that hunger to be the best, Nice, good story, I thought. Not really spotty, and I think a lot different than what people expected, which was good. But yeah, that was great. Just to that was the first time I kind of came back and thought, it was the only one I came back and really put my mind into and really had a lot of fun with trying to come up with because I've been thinking about that match for 10 years.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so, how would it go or, what music would be on the comp and, all that kind of stuff, so.
Oh, yes! That's the knockdown!
With the Dreamer match, I was so happy to see that happen, by the way.
To do a legitimate 45 minutes bell to bell, I was stunned that we had that in us and deeply proud of the match. Bit rough around the edges, but, I mean, what do you expect? And to me, it's not about that. It's about story, and I think it had a solid story. The match was already written before we even fucking tied up, but I think that the in-match story was really nice with me beating the shit out of him, a lot of pent-up anger, taking a high risk.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Not paying off. I did it too early in the match because I was too hot-headed. Ended up fucking myself over completely because I was just too hot-headed.
The whole story of kind of his anger completely dominating the match. He came in and completely obliterated me. Was on the way to win and then fucked up. And that gave me my in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think just to give me that kind of in that he's then injured in his back, and everyone knows about his back. He misses this splash and we kind of shoot his back's injured and, the ref comes in and then I you know, I'm kicking him and he's no-selling the back. And I think that was a good point that we came up with, was that, you know, let me just kick the shit out of your back and just no-sell it. And then that kind of gets that by you, you know, that little kind of, is this legit? Is he been a bit of a prick, or is, you know, is he hurt? Because then, you know, all you have to do is plant that little kind of seed of doubt, you know, that little kind of belief, you know, because when you watch anything, you know, you watch a film or whatever, you suspend your disbelief, you know, as much as you try not to, maybe, you know, and you might think, oh, that's jumped the shark, or that's shit, or that's whatever, you still suspend your disbelief in the tiniest way. And I think that's what we wanted to buy into, was that these guys probably, you know, I mean, because we get on quite cool now, I hope, but, you know, a lot of people who don't really know that kind of thought, well, maybe there is a bit of beef, you know, maybe there is a bit of tension. And
it was his idea to lay the stomps into me after I was injured, in inverted commas, and no selling. And he said it to me before the match. I was like, that's genius. Like, as you said, it's all the little things with him. He thinks about these little things, and he said it's just going to cast a little bit of doubt in people's minds, and it's a bit gritty. And yeah, you'll see me, I barely sell him at all, because I roll over coughing, because in real life, if you've got a really bad injury, it doesn't matter what's going on around you, you're doing your best to nurse yourself and get yourself through it. So if I'm lying there and my back's fucked up and I'm coughing up, I'm going to try and see to that. If I've got blood coming up, I need to see to that. If somebody's laying a stomp or two into me, it doesn't really matter. I've kind of got bigger fish to fry at the moment, you know. I've got to get myself through this. So he's just so smart with things like that. And I remember I added something to it, like I kind of like swatted his leg away a little bit and tried to like push him away, like as if, just fuck off. I need some room. I'm really fucking injured. Yeah. And he's so smart with those little pieces of detail that really just turns a good match to a great match, or a good wrestler to a great wrestler. You know, that is the difference, and that is why he's the best. I'd completely forgotten about the end until Dream was talking about it, about the handshake.
I love the fact that, again, it was building up for 10 years.
Yeah.
You had the match, it was over, and then Selby goes for the handshake, and then you're just like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, and
it was
that
just so good.
Selby's idea. I was going for the big, you know, kind of, and I think everyone was, you know, the big, let's have a hug, man, come on, let's hug this shit out. You know, let's end on a high. And he was like, nah, mate, you can't end like that.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. We spoke about it, and I said to him, but that's what should happen. Like, we should just embrace. I said, fuck no. No, we're not going to... We were meant to have this match years ago. We were then meant to have it again, and it didn't happen. Why buck the trend now? You know, like things that have meant to have happened haven't happened with us. So we're meant to just embrace and do the whole, we're all right now thing. Fuck no. Fuck no. You know, he was the natural heel throughout the whole thing because he kept screwing his friend over. It was a shoot. But that became the story. It wasn't a wrestling storyline anymore. It was real life. He kept screwing me over, and I just thought, you know, I'm the face. You know, we finally had this final showdown, and I thought, you know, we've come full circle. I'll show the sign of respect. He beat me fair and square. We finally had the match. We're all older. We're all better. We're all wiser. And I'll show the sign of respect. And as I said, the thing that's meant to happen is he shakes the hand and everybody claps and everything's great.
Yeah.
But let's not do that. Let's end it with you being the heel. And the heel wins. Game over.
Yeah.
Done. The end. It's a horrible ending. So sometimes shit happens.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? There ain't always a fucking happy ending. You know? That's life. And... I wanted that to come across. You know, the good guys don't always win, I'm afraid. And even if you're showing respect and doing the right thing, don't always work out for you, mate.
Yeah.
Don't always work out for you.
He was just, you know, that was, and it was fitting because I think the thing is that, you know, in my mind, he was always going to win. You know, like, so when I was thinking about it, he was always going to win. And, he said to me, that's fine, you know, and whatever, but I can't win. It just, you know, there's not enough of a story there. You know, that's the kind of, you know, how can I describe it? That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. You know, that's the kind of, That's the good guy saves the day, you know.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted to do something a little bit richer, a little bit kind of darker, and that's just Selby. I think, you know, that's just him kind of, you know, that was completely his idea. You know, yeah, it was just a really cool story to work, really fun, and then just to do the swerve at the end as well, which was really cool.
I just thought it'd be quite a nice message, you know, hopefully something to remember the feud by, that it was just that bitter ending to it.
Yeah. Well, you say, you know, it wasn't a happy ending in terms of the match, but as for you personally, was that better for you to end on as opposed to the BWF match?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. No, it wasn't a right way for me to finish.
Yeah.
The BBWF one. As I said, it's nothing to do with them. It's not a knock on them at all.
No. Yeah.
It wasn't fitting. It was't right. You know, it was a nice platform. Like, there's lots of people there. It was in a ring. That's great. But it shouldn't have been a multi-man match against BBWF guys. That wasn't the appropriate ending. This is another thing. I always hated it when people retired and come out of retirement.
Yeah.
It's ironic because I love Terry Funk, but he gets a pass. But Dreamer did it all the time and it annoyed me. But it wasn't just Dreamer. Loads of people did it. I think Ads did it a few times. It always wound me up. I just thought all you're doing is watering down what should be a really nice celebration. And now when some fucker does do it, people are going to be going, oh yeah, I wonder when he's coming back. Like, you're just fucking it up, not just for yourself, but for everybody else as well, because it's losing credibility now. So I always said, when I retire, I retire. And that is why in 2008, I knew it was time to stop. So I retired, but I don't feel like I really went against it, because in my opinion, BIW died. Betterfest was just very much a one-off. The way I saw it was just coming out of retirement as a one-off. I ain't going to be doing any more matches. To me, it was just, that was a one-off. It was me and Dreamer. I was only ever doing it for me and Dreamer. I weren't going to do it willy-nilly. I don't think I insulted anybody's intelligence. It was 5 years after I'd retired, and Backyard ain't even really a thing anymore anyway. So I didn't feel like I cheated myself or went against my own word by doing that. Obviously, technically, some might disagree, but to me, it was just a very special one-off. Coming out of retirement just for once. I'd like to think when I cried in front of everybody and said goodbye, that was all from the heart, and I meant it, and I feel like I followed that through for 5 years. It was an event I wasn't expecting to happen, and it was a match I wasn't expecting to happen, you know?
It was just so good that you guys got to kind of just draw a line under it, and and for you to finally get that kind of proper one-on-one match to end out on was really good to see.
Exactly. It had to happen, man. It had to happen, and by God, we waited long enough. I mean, it's nearly 10 years in the making. It's incredible.
Exactly.
About that. It's incredible. So, fitting end. Shame it wasn't bigger platform, you know, better event before it and whatnot. But hey-ho, it's fine. All I was focused on was my match, you know, to be brutally honest.
These two have been fighting for close to half an hour now. Selby! Could this...
It's going to be slow and painful.
9 years, he said. He wants this match to drag on. He wants Dreamer to feel everything. Camera's going to fuck. Oh! Dreamer DDT! This is over! Oh, God. It's got to be it. Cover him! No! How did Selby kick out of that? Dreamer DDT, another one. No! Two of them! Oh, no. That's it. Special. Selby not giving up. Whoa. No, not another one. The fifth. 1, 2, 3, and there you have it. Your winner. Dan Dreamer. Putting an end to Selby's never give up attitude. Dreamer, one of the best in his own right.
What a match! What a match! What a match!
He is absolutely out of it right now. He has suffered so much punishment. It is ridiculous.
And what's he going to do for enough God's sake? As if he hasn't done enough already.
What a war we have witnessed. And the first match at XPB Betterfest. Freema just walking away. Freema just walking out of here.